You guys wanna come over? Morning.
Morning.
I'm Brandon. We're gonna talk about ropes and knots today. I'm sending a sign-in sheet around. There is exits over there and over there. The restroom's over here. Yeah.
Thank you.
Mhm. Ready to get started? Alright, objectives. We'll be able to differentiate between life safety rope and utility rope. We'll be able to describe the various materials and methods used to construct ropes. Describe the procedures for inspecting, cleaning, and maintaining ropes. We'll describe how webbing is used, inspected, maintained, and stored. And you will be able to identify types of knots. We have skill sheet 15, 16, and 18. All right, learning objective 1, differentiate between life safety rope and utility rope. Uses for life safety rope is rescue and emergency operations, raising, lowering, supporting firefighters during training. Not to be used for utility rope or utility purposes. Construction is only block creel construction using continuous filament. Virgin fiber for load-bearing elements is suitable. Life safety rope. Manufacturers provide information about the use, inspection, maintenance, and retirement. Ropes must pass field inspections. Criteria to be reused for life safety: it cannot have any abrasions or visible damage. No exposure to heat or direct flame. Cannot have any exposure to an impact load, and no exposure to materials that can deteriorate the rope. Maintain a rope log throughout the rope's working life. Must be permanently identified by marking or labeling. Removing rope from service. If it is subjected to impact load, fails inspection, or has been used as utility rope, or is marked for destruction, refer to your SOPs for the reclassification or destruction of that rope. Utility rope uses for it will be hoisting equipment, securing unstable objects, or cordoning off specified areas. Industry standards, but no NFPA standards. Downgraded life safety rope may be used as utility rope. Inspect for damage regularly. Caution, ensure that downgraded life safety rope is clearly marked as utility rope. How are life safety rope and utility rope different?
One's used to hoist the fireman, one's used to cord off.
No.
There it is.
Learning objective number 2. Describe the various materials and methods used to construct rope. Synthetic fibers used for life safety and utility ropes. Natural fibers only used for utility ropes. Rope construction material. Main difference between synthetic and natural fiber ropes. Affects uses in longevity. Natural fibers lose strength when wet and rot rapidly. Synthetic fibers, polypropylene, polyester, nylon, polystyrene, Kevlar, Spectra. The disadvantage is it melts when it's exposed to heat. Advantages: excellent resistance to water, mildew, mold, rotting, shrinkage, longer life than natural fiber rope. It's lightweight but strong, and it's easy to maintain. Natural fiber rope, plant fibers, manila, sisal, hemp, and cotton. Disadvantage is it's prone to mildew and mold. It deteriorates when exposed to chemicals, and it burns when it comes in contact with flames and embers. Advantage is more resistant to sunlight than synthetic rope, and it chars rather than melts when exposed to heat. Review question: what advantage do synthetic ropes have over natural fiber ropes?
Synthetics are stronger than natural fiber.
They don't mold and mildew and deteriorate better.
Okay. Rope construction. Types of rope: kern mantle, laid or twisted, braided, braid on braid. Kern mantle has an external sheath and then the internal core. Kern mantle dynamic rope. It's got high stretch ability. It's used when long falls are possible. It's designed to stretch without breaking. Elasticity is a disadvantage when raising and lowering heavy loads, and it's not used for rescue or hoisting. Static rope is used for most rope rescue operations, rappelling, hoisting, and where falls are not likely or only short falls are possible. It's designed for low stretch without breaking and must not elongate more than 10% when tested under a load equal to 10% of its breaking strength. Laid or twisted rope is utility rope only. Disadvantages is it's susceptible to abrasion and other physical damage. And damage immediately affects the rope's strength. The only advantage is it's easy to inspect. Braided rope, less likely to twist than laid rope. It's vulnerable to abrasions and damage, and most commonly utility rope. Most use synthetic rope, or synthetic fibers, sorry. The braid-on braid rope is very strong, does not resist abrasion as well as kern mantle. Sheath may slide along the inner core, and most often used as utility rope. How is kern mantle rope different from braid-on braid?
Kern mantle's a rescue rope. Braid on braids, just used for utility.
Okay. In a rescue operation where a vehicle has fallen over the side of a cliff, would it be more appropriate to use dynamic kern mantle rope or static kern mantle rope? Why?
You'll be hoisting
One of my sons doesn't have that stretch.
Okay. Alright, learning objective number 3. Describe the procedures for inspecting, cleaning, and maintaining ropes. Inspecting rope needs to be inspected after each use, and unused rope needs to be inspected at least once a year. Document inspections in the rope log. If damage is found, remove from service and have rope destroyed. There's embedded glass, metal shavings, splinters, foreign objects. Inspecting kern mantle rope. Damage may not be obvious. Put slight tension on the rope when feeling for lumps, depressions, or soft spots. If the sheath is damaged, core is probably damaged. Core can be damaged without damage on the outer sheath. If any doubt of rope's integrity, or if it is excessively fuzzy, remove it from service. Inspecting kern mantle rope for damage to the core and sheath, irregular, in the shape or weave, a foul smell, discoloration, roughness, abrasions, and deterioration or fuzziness. Inspecting synthetic laid rope. Untwist to inspect. Mildew isn't necessarily a problem, but should be removed. Inspect synthetic laid rope for soft, crusty, stiff, or brittle spots, excessive stretching, cuts, nicks, abrasions, chemical damage, dirt or grease, or obvious flaws. Natural fiber laid rope deteriorates with age. Removed from service at end of manufacturer's recommended service life. Inspect natural fiber laid rope for ruptured fibers and powdering. Spots between the strands or odor that indicates rot or mildew, rust spots, accumulations of greasy materials. Rope rot will spread from rotten rope to new rope if stored next to one another. Immediately remove rotten rope and surrounding ropes from service. Clean and re-inspect rope. Clean, dry, and ventilate storage area before putting rope back into it. Inspect braided rope for nicks, cuts, heat shears, excessive or unusual fuzziness, mushy spots, or deformities. Inspect braid-on braid rope for heat sears, nicks, cuts, lumps, shrunken diameter, questionable wear. When inspecting rope, what kinds of damage would require that the rope be removed from service?
Rot.
Cuts, frays, fuzziness, abdominal damage.
Glass and metal embedded in the jacket.
Rope maintenance guidelines. Avoid abrasion and unnecessary wear. Avoid sharp angles, bends, and knots. Protect ends from damage. Avoid sustained loads. Avoid rust. Prevent contact with chemicals. Reverse ends of rope periodically. Do not walk on the rope. Your department has recently had an issue with rope maintenance, causing more ropes to be discarded than necessary. Make a short, easy to remember rope maintenance list to share with department personnel. Would that be beneficial?
Yeah, but it keeps records of what's going on, and maybe you can figure out why you're losing ropes, or who's responsible for when it's actually happening, if it's one shift or something.
Right. Cleaning synthetic rope. Remove surface debris. Wash using water and mild detergent or fabric softener. Dry rope immediately. Synthetic rope. Washing by hand. Place in the utility sink with water and detergent. Scrub with bristle brush. Can use a mesh bag to soak rope and then rinse thoroughly. When you're using a rope washing device, bristle lined plastic tube with garden hose connection. Rope is manually fed through the device. Multi-directional streams of water. Removes mud and surface debris. Cannot be used with detergent and does not address deep cleaning problems. The washing machine, you place rope in a mesh bag. Set washer to coolest temperature. Use a small amount of detergent and can be used to rinse rope cleaned with high pressure washer. Cleaning natural fiber rope. Wipe or gently brush to remove dirt and grit. Do not use water. Dry rope is if it gets wet. How should synthetic rope or synthetic fiber and natural fiber ropes be washed and dried?
Synthetic's gonna be used with water and mild detergent, and natural fiber, you don't wanna get it wet. Just
If
use
you
the
do
brush.
get it wet, what do you need to
You
do?
need to dry it immediately.
Alright, rope logs, information to include. You wanna include the product label, identification label, and the manufacturer's instructions. Purchase date, use, maintenance, and inspection information. Incidents that result in impact loading. A rope log helps determine when rope should be removed from service, may be stored at the station or in the rope bags, and is not required for utility rope. What information should be recorded in a rope log?
Purchase date,
Yeah.
type of rope, length, when it was used and how it was used, just any issues.
Any impact loads?
Impact loads, yeah.
Manufacturer's recommendations for the cleaning.
Yeah, clean process.
Rope storage, clean, dry, unheated area with circulating air. Protected from weather, sunlight, chemicals, fumes, and vapors. Not in the same compartment as gasoline-powered tools or fuel. Best method is to store in a rope bag. What is the proper method for storing rope?
Rope bag.
In a clean, well-ventilated area.
Just not in the same compartment with gas can or your chainsaws. Learning objective number 4. Describe how webbing is used, inspected, maintained, and stored. Webbing can be used as life safety and utility applications. Forms, piece of material, ladder belt, a loop, or a rescue harness. There's 2 types of webbing. There's flat and tubular. Webbing inspection, maintenance, and storage. Follow the same guidelines used for synthetic rope. Always follow manufacturer's instructions. Roll or daisy chain long lengths for storage. How is webbing generally utilized in the fire service?
Rescue applications.
Right into harness.
Yep.
Harness, anchors, and hangers.
Loop. Learning objective number 5. Identify types of knots. Parts of a rope when tying knots. The running part is the free end for hoisting or pulling. The standing part is section between the working end and the running part. The working end is used to tie knot or hitch. Tying a knot. form the knot, tighten knot until snug, dress the knot, which is remove slack, and then tie an overhand safety or a hitch if necessary. Suitable knots must be easy to tie and untie, be secure under a load, and reduce rope's strength as little as possible. Bends, there's a bite, a loop, and a round turn. Alright, now we're gonna get into types of knots. On the left there you got the overhand safety and then clove hitch. This is the figure 8. You have a figure 8 on bite, figure 8 follow through. Figure 8 follow through is normally around an object. And then you have the water knot. List a common use for each of the following knots: overhand safety, a clove hitch, figure 8, and figure 8 bend.
Safety reason on every rope knot you tie. Clove hitch, go around an object, pick up ladders, figure 8 can be used as a carry connection to the end of a rope. And then figure 8, figure 8, is just in midline of a rope, and then figure 8 on bend is used for the carry rope, the anchor point.
Alright, learning objective number 7. Explain how ropes and knots are used during rescue and other emergencies. Life safety rope used for rappelling, lifting victims and rescuers, removing victims from swift water. Never use utility rope for rescue. Control zone perimeter utility rope used to establish a perimeter. Rope is tied to trees, signposts, or other stationary objects. Can be used as a search line. Object stabilization. Before performing work around the object, be certain that rope or webbing and anchor point are strong enough to hold the object. Knots are tight and safety knots are in place. Attachment points are secure and personnel are clear from the stabilizing line. List 3 uses of rope other than hoisting objects.
Search line.
Stabilize an object.
You know, anchor, cordon off the,
If you will.
you know. For each of the following operations, tell whether life safety rope or utility rope should be used. Rappelling,
Life safety.
setting up scene control,
Utility.
stabilizing a vehicle,
Utility.
lifting a rescuer out of an underground
Life
space.
safety.
Life safety.
Alright, review of the objectives. You should be able to differentiate between life safety rope and utility rope. Describe the various materials and methods used to construct ropes. Describe the procedures for inspecting and cleaning and maintaining ropes. Describe how webbing is used and inspected, maintained, and stored. And identify the knots. Is there any questions? That went quick. All right. Okay. I'll hand out some rope.
Thanks, you. I got it.
I was gonna say, I'll head over to him. You wanna tie an overhand safety knot? Okay. Now, clove hitch. I do it around an object over here. Huh?
You use your chair here.
Oh,
So on the table, rubber and what?
cross. Come up through the middle. And then tie your overhand safety. Nice. Figure eight.
It's your regular figure eight.
Yeah. Figure eight follow through around an optic. does say that you need to have a safety on. Figure 8 on a bike with a safety. Or not.
Does that say it has to have safety?
With a safety.
Just one safety or both safety?
One on each end. Is there any of them that you wanna practice any more on or you're having trouble with?
Yeah, I'm gonna do the full pitch around them.
You wanna use this? can also do the clove hitch by doing just two like bunny ears and then cross over. Looks like the only knot that you don't have to have a safety is the regular figure eight for the overhand safety knot.
Put a safety on the safety knot. Put a safety on the safety knot.
Do a overhand safety with a safety. Any more questions? I don't know what I did. Oh, I mean, it's still up here, it just didn't go to that. Yeah. So, you guys wanna take a break?
Yeah.
Okay.
Always
Take a break.
break all like a dog here.
Everybody good with how to, inspect? Any questions on inspecting or cleaning?
Just like this, the look and see, right?
Just
Some of
separation,
them,
soft spots.
Yeah, if any lumps or,
make sure the cores.
yeah.
Move on to the test. Once you get done with your test, you can go out there, and I'll call you back in. X. Minus 0.
Oh,
Good job.
thank you.
Minus 0. Good job.
Go back in.
Alright. We'll move on to the skill sheets. We'll go over number 15. Skill objective, the student given the proper ropes shall demonstrate tying a water knot, overhand safety, and a figure 8 on a bike within the designated times. The student will select a type and length of rope which will adequately meet the provision of this skill. Because of various sequential steps in accomplishing a finished knot, the instructor will primarily evaluate the finished product for accurateness compared to the essentials manual. The completed knot shall be identical to the illustrations found in the reference manual. What we'll do is, one person can stay in here, we can do it, and then once it's done, then he can go out and the next person can come in. Alright, water knot with a safety. Has to be, forms a water knot with the safety, completes the water knot within 2 minutes, states that the water knot is used to join 2 pieces of webbing together or create a closed loop. Overhand safety, number 2, forms the overhand safety, completes the overhand safety within 2 minutes, and state that an overhand safety knot is used to prevent the primary knot from failing. Number 3, figure 8 on a bite with a safety. Forms the figure 8 on a bite with a safety, completes the figure 8 on a bite within 2 minutes, and states that the figure 8 on a bite is used to when a closed loop is needed to connect the rope to a piece of hardware. Any questions? Alright, who wants to go first?
Can we leave these right here?
I think you figure 8 before figure 8 on the bottom. Base, yeah.
Do you wanna look over this before?
So do water knot with safety, overhand safety, figure 8 on a bike with safety.
Ready, Lee?
tying, piece of webbing into a loop, or two pieces of webbing into it.
Ready when you
Do ordinance safety.
Yep.
And that is used for anytime you're tying knot to add safety to the end of.
And then you have your figure eight on the pipe of a second.
Figure eight with the bite and, safety.
Okay.
And that is used to hook, carabiner into on the working end of a rope.
Yep.
At an anchor point.
Very good.
Perfect.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
Make sure. Stay with those two.
Okay.
Alright, are you ready?
Yep. I would use the water knot on a piece of webbing to secure or as an anchor
Mhm.
or for hoisting. Right?
Tie two together.
Tie two pieces of webbing together. Okay.
Over
is on any knot for a safety or a secure factor.
And then your last one.
Figure 8 on a bike.
Is
I would use this if I need to connect with a carabiner to a piece of equipment or connect a piece of equipment. And then my safety knots in there to keep it from slipping.
send the next victim.
You ready for him?
Yeah.
Just the order you want us to do them
That you can do it in whatever order you want.
We'll start with the bottom knot.
Go ahead whenever you're ready.
Okay, we're back. We had some technical difficulties again with the camera overheating.
Good? License period expired.
Safety.
Why just put a loop? Cause why would you just want a regular? Okay.
What would you?
That's the, put it at the other end of, like a bind or figure eight, a safety knot. Next one's figure eight on bind. just to put a figure eight on why it's used to use mechanical, carabiner. Thanks, yeah.
Alright, now we're gonna move on to skill sheet number 16. The student given the proper rope shall demonstrate tying a figure eight, a clove hitch around an object, and they've got figure of eight follow through with the safety within the designated times. Student will select a type and length of rope which will adequately meet the provisions of this skill. Because of various sequential steps in accomplishing a finished knot, the instructor will primarily evaluate the finished product for accurateness compared to the essentials manual. The completed knot shall be identical to the illustrations found in the reference manual. Alright, number 1, figure 8. Forms the figure 8, completes the figure 8 within 2 minutes, and states that the figure 8 knot is foundation of the figure 8 family and is used as a stopper knot. Number 2, clove hitch around an object with a safety. Forms the clove hitch with the safety around an object, completes the clove hitch within 2 minutes, states the clove hitch is used to attach a rope to an object such as a pole, hose, or other equipment. The figure 8 follow through with the safety around an object. Ties a loose figure 8, completes the figure 8 follow through with the safety around an object within 2 minutes, and states the figure 8 follow through is used when tying around a fixed object. Any questions? Nope. Alright, we'll do this one the same way, just one at a time.
Are you on first?
Ready when you
Just the figure 8 first. And figure 8 is part of the 8's family, and it can be used as a stopper knot also. Very good.
clove hitch around an object.
Pitch around the object with a safety. And it's used to tie around an object, and you can use it for hoisting, such as a rope, tool, pipe pole, something like that.
The last one, figure 8 follow through with a safety around it.
Figure 8 follow through. First I'll tie a regular figure 8 to around my object loosely,
safety, and that's used to hook around a stationary object and break or bolt.
Can you send the next person in, please? Any questions before we start?
No.
Ready when you are.
Figure eight is the family of all the figure eight family. It's the base of it, and it is also used as a stopper.
Very good.
Next one.
Full pitch around an object with a safety. They want this or?
So, clove pitch with the safety.
Yes.
Clove hitch is used to attach a rope to a piece of equipment, like a hose line or pole or a ladder.
Very good.
What was the next one?
Figure eight followed through with the safety around an object.
And a figure eight follow through is going to be used if you can't get around an object or you can't get a bite on something, and get a bite on something.
questions?
Go ahead.
Figure eight, it's a stopper knot, it's the foundation of the figure eight. Okay. What's the next one, cool hitch?
Yeah, rounded object for the same.
Let me see.
That's how
That's a club hitch used to hoist the axe, tile ladders. Figure eight on bend.
Oh, figure eight follow through
Or
with the
false.
safety,
Yeah.
rounded object.
Good to go?
What's up?
Figure eight on bends used to go around a fixed object. Like a tree or something. Or hoisting a chainsaw. Here we go, get down.
Hey,
Welcome back.
Alright, move on to the last skill sheet. Student given fire service rope shall demonstrate the technique of inspecting, cleaning, storing the rope in approved fashion. The instructor shall provide the student with the rope to be inspected for damage or abuse. After inspecting the entire rope, the candidate shall clean the rope using proper tools and cleaning solution. The student should then demonstrate the procedure for drying the rope. Finally, students shall demonstrate proper preparation for storage based on what method his or her department uses, rope bag, coiling, etc. Alright, things to be looking for. Examines the entire rope surface for cuts, abrasions, stains, chemical damage, odor, or fraying. examines the inner component by feeling for lumps, depressions, or soft spots. Verbally explains that he or she would tag or remove from service any severely damaged rope, and records use in rope bag. Verbally explains how the rope would be washed using water and mild detergent or per manufacturer's recommendations, and thoroughly rinsing is required. States that after cleaning, he or she would allow the rope to air dry completely. Performs an additional inspection after drying, and properly stores the rope using a coil method or rope bag storage. Note, coiling is not necessarily in a rope bag. Any questions? Who wants to go first? Okay.
So if I'm inspecting a rope, I'm gonna inspect the entire outside full length, all the ends, checks for any cuts, abrasions, burns, thermal damage, any issues with the soil sand frame. Then I will build a stretch on the rope, check the inner core, see if I find any lumps, soft spots, or deformities within it. If I do know anything, take it out of service immediately, notify the chief about it, and also document it on the log. As far as cleaning, I'm gonna follow any of the ropes, any manufacturer's recommendation, typically with water and mild soap. Definitely rinse it thoroughly at the end, make sure it's all the soap and everything out of it. I'm going to let it dry, air dry, and make sure it's completely dry. Once it's dry, we'll do my inspection again, make sure there's no issues from the cleaning process. At that point, I will store the rope in its proper location, either my coil method or rope bag. If we're using a rope bag, we don't necessarily use the coil method, we just load it in the bag. And once again, document any issues that we found, or any uses, or anything that has to do with the rope in our rope log.
Okay.
Any questions?
No. So I'm gonna start by examining, trying to find any squishiness or abrasions in the rope. And then when I clean it, I'm going to use mild detergent or manufacturer's recommendations, and immediately dry it. I will hang it up in a well ventilated area, away from chemicals or fumes. I will also, after it is dry, I will, per our SOPs in a road bag. And document that it's been, it was inspected and everything like that, document everything that I've done.
After it dries, what do you do?
Re-inspect it. Inspect it after it's dry, then I will put it back in the road bag.
What would you do if, you found something?
If I found abrasion or any damage, I would, take it out of service immediately and report it to our chief supervisor.
What did you say you would, how would you would store it?
I'd store it in a road bag. Per our SOPs or in a road bag.
Do you need to look at that, or?
I think it's more right. This is my road home inspector. I'm gonna look for abrasions, chemical damage, I'm gonna look for soft spots in it. There's the core. Then is, cleaning it. I use mild detergent to clean it. Whenever I put it in a shaded room to let it dry, well ventilated, not direct sunlight. I inspected it, all documented in the, rope log. When I'm done with the inspection, I cleaned it, it's dry, put it back in the rope bag.
What do you do before that? Right after it dries?
I re-inspect it. Re-inspect it before we put it in the rope bag. And then,
What happens if you do find something?
document it, discard the rope. Or remove it from service, whatever you wanna word it.
How are you gonna store it?
In a rope bag. Yeah, they got scatterbrained, did they, ADD thing? Went out of order.
Yeah. Probably you put your name on it too, cause we're gonna have to unstable. Maybe.
You ever get,
Huh?
when we get there?
He's coming. Welcome back. Alright. Y'all did very good with everything. Last thing I've got for you is a survey. Be brutally honest, it only helped me get better.